In any base design, mobility should flow seamlessly throughout, but if done poorly, it will be frustrating to live in and could even lose you a raid. So in this video, I'll teach you some basic methods to improve your own designs. First, we'll talk about clan bases, and quadras group sizes. Put simply, you need at least one way in and out to the core, mobility chutes around the outside, and a ring to join it all together. The amount of chutes you need is determined by the size of your group and also the footprint you're using. A two-sided base will have 2 chutes, a 3-sided one needs 3 chutes, and a 6-sided base should have 3 or 6. There are various styles of mobility modules. These are simple crouch jumps, giving you quick access to every floor, and if you have trouble crouch jumping, you can use this F1 command to help you. The most compact version is the double triangle one. On this type, the jump ups alternate onto each side, with exits onto the next floor. But it's important to add retakes. These can be used to take back each floor, the shooting floor, or the roof. Here's a close-up of each one. Then we have the 3 triangle version. As with the double triangle version, the jump ups are on one side, with exits onto the next floor. Or instead, you can have lockers for rekitting. Again, remember to add retakes to each floor if required. Here's a close-up of each one. And then we have this version. Unlike other modules, the jump ups can be on one side or alternate between both. Having them on both sides is advantageous, as it means you won't completely lose all your mobility if it gets rocketed. You can also use and mix double doors and garage doors, so when you're online, the garage doors stay open and only the double doors need to be closed, enabling faster movement. Another alternative is to use single door frames at half height. These act as retakes for the mobility itself. Here's a close-up of each one. Note that these modules won't fit every base design, so you'll have to take what you've learnt here and apply it to your own footprint, making sure you have clean mobility up and down to each floor. Before we move on, here's a word about retakes. It's common practice to put them right next to the jump ups. However, these are flawed, as raiders can also see you. If possible, it's far better to put them somewhere where there's a floor either side, making the peak one way, so raiders can't use them against you. Next, we have mobility rings. A mobility ring can either be on the ground floor or second floor, and should have plenty of peaks to retake it. A second floor ring is generally better for progression, as you can honeycomb the core early game and even add more peaks to the second floor. But ground floor rings work well if you want to keep the base short and still have a large open core. It also depends on how wide your base is. Now we'll talk about smaller bases. In a solo base like this, mobility isn't really a key factor, so just one way up and down is fine to keep costs to a minimum. But on larger duo, trio, quad bases such as this, you'll need at least 2 ways up. You can add mobility chutes to the side, like I showed previously, or instead connect it to the ones in your core to keep the base compact. In most cases, you won't have space to add a ring, but it can be done like in this 2x1, with entrances onto the second floor using the roof and single door. All chutes can be connected together on this floor too. Or another alternative is to build a wide gap shell, which can act as a ring, and if needed, you can even incorporate mobility chutes into it. Next, we'll talk about how to get up and down quickly from the shooting floor. Personally, I think ladder hatches are best for this. The simplest way to do this is to add a door and a window to a piece of honeycomb. Ladders to climb up with a hatch at the top, and seal with a door for more protection. Be mindful of where you put these, as it could make your base a cheap raid to core. And these chutes should only be used in emergencies, not as main mobility, as ladder hatches are slow to open, and you can't hold a gun while climbing them, leaving you exposed. To get down quickly from the roof of your base, you can simply attach roof pieces to the sides of your shooting floor to drop down onto, to decrease the chances of getting shot while using it. I recommend building some wood walls to protect yourself. Add a single door, and it also becomes a downwards peak into compound. So I hope that was useful to you. If you have any questions, feel free to join my Discord using the link in the description, where you can also buy a custom base tailored to your needs, or a tune-up of your own design.